Football, or soccer as it is known stateside, is the fastest rising sport in America. The popularity is thanks to the upcoming FIFA World Cup and an influx of global star players. So, what does this mean for the future of the game in America? Hello and welcome to Football Now. Football in the USA is more popular than ever. American football, baseball and basketball have all ruled the roost for so long, but now interest in soccer has grown leaps and bounds thanks to the help of a younger generation of fans.
You know, the one thing that always comes to mind, when you think about, say English football, for instance, I really learned the culture of the game and really the fabric of the game when I was playing in England for the 8 years that I played over there. But what I realized there, especially captaining Watford, we all have badges on our chests and they all have a number of when that club was started. And so, when you walk out Watford, it said 1881 on the badge. So if you think about almost 100 years of history, culture, all those things that really come along with the beautiful game, America, North America, for instance, was far behind. And so I think it took us a bit to not only just start to understand the culture of the game, understand the fabric of what this game is, that everywhere else in the world seemed to understand. But now the US and Canada and the North American cultures are starting to catch up. And I think that's the biggest thing. I think really you got to learn the culture of the game. You have to learn what the fabric of this beautiful game is before you can really give it a go, before you can really sit in those terraces and know what you're doing. All those pieces are the reasons why the growth is now finally starting to become something that the world can pay attention to.
Well, no doubt another reason for the boom in popularity is the arrival of star players into the MLS. The whole world watched World Cup hero Lionel Messi sign for Inter Miami just 1 year ago. So is his arrival a sign of greater growth to come for football in America?
He has just taken it, turbocharged it really, because, the crowds you're getting for games involving Inter Miami, fans are turning out everywhere to see him. He's generating a lot of interest in the television product that MLS has created with Apple. So Messi's front and center on all the promotion for that. I think David Beckham did a lot of the groundwork for him, who's now, of course, owner of Inter Miami, co-owner of Inter Miami. In terms of Beckham was the guy who went out on all the talk shows at the night and sort of built interest in the game amongst the broader population. We don't see Messi doing that. He's not comfortable speaking in English. He doesn't like doing those kind of shows. But he's putting on a show on the field. And I think it is generating another tier of interest. We'll see, what impact that has when we look back on it in a few years.
Well, an increase in interest has also triggered suggestions of bringing more top-level football to the USA. Premier League Chief Executive Richard Masters said recently that the door looks ajar for bringing regular season fixtures to America. The league have tried to do this before, announcing plans for a 39th game in the US back in 2008, only for it to be scrapped after a big backlash from fans. Javier Tebas, the president of La Liga, has given the green light for Spanish games to be played across the pond. This could happen as soon as 2025.
Javier Tebas is always a few steps ahead in terms of trying to modernize the league, trying to bring in as much revenue and much money as possible, because in his mind, it's all about competing with the Premier League. And financially, there's a huge gap. And let's be honest, I'm not sure that any league can actually either compete or catch up with the Premier League. I understand from a business point of view why he could see the appeal. It's a growing market when it comes to football. There's a lot of money there. But from a football point of view, I think it's really unfair, and I do think it disrupts the integrity of the competition, because for me, either you do it with everyone or you don't do it at all. You can't just pick one game, most likely a Clásico with Real Madrid or Barcelona, or a game in which either Real Madrid or Barcelona are involved. It really is unfair to everybody else, because at the end of the day, this is a money-making exercise. It's definitely not a very welcome idea at this stage by many and most people in the football industry in Spain.
Now, American television network NBC say that Premier League games in America is something they will continue to push for, knowing the audience in the country is bigger than ever. But with the MLS also in the best shape it's ever been, will the introduction of games from abroad halt the progress of the country's own football league?
I don't think having regular season Premier League or La Liga matches would help local football. I don't really see how that could help raise that floor that we've been talking about developing young players. Maybe you have a young boy who his dream is to see a match, and he sees them and he decides to start training harder and gets linked with his local MLS academy and eventually goes through the chain. But to me, it seems like the momentum is there for Major League Soccer right now commercially, with the arrival of Lionel Messi, with some of the innovative deals that they've done with their television rights and some of the other things. It seems like the league is taking risks that are paying off. For now, to me, it does seem like it might be a risk for MLS and for other local soccer leagues, where some of that momentum that's really building toward the World Cup could be halted at just the wrong time.
An interesting time for football in America then, as the audience for the sport continues to grow to levels never seen before. Let us know your thoughts using the hashtag FootballNowUSA. That's all we have time for from our studio here in Doha. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.